I am so funny. I can't believe I did that. I, I thought I was live like 11 minutes ago, and I kept looking at the screen going, why does this look funny? It's like not coming up like normal. And it turns out I was looking at just an old screen of myself. Anyway, I'm so sorry, but here I am after I've lost everyone. Yeah, so hi, Paulina. And did your supplies arrive? I'm so sorry to keep you waiting. And Kat is possibly there. And let's see if I can come up with my stream on my other device. There we go. Okay. Oops, let me turn this off. All right, that was a big mistake, but there we go. Okay, so we're gonna paint this little seascape today with the little, you can barely see it on here, but there's a little cityscape in the background, and then a bridge and some mysterious things. And then we have the foreground boats. And so let's just sketch that out. Oh, it arrived today. Excellent. Okay, good. So, one second, I want to just tell Chris something. Hey, Chris. Tipper? Okay. Today's the day Joe decides to go outside with the blower thing to blow leaves in the woods. And I can hear it out there and it's driving me crazy. So he's going to stop that right now and go somewhere else. Let's go ahead and get this drawing in. So I didn't have time to post this on the Facebook page, but I think everybody saw it probably earlier on social media. So let's go ahead and pull out. I'm using this paper, which is a little bit bigger today. And 2/3 of the way up, you just want to give it an indication of a straight line across. And then very lightly, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be in the distance, and there's waves and shadows and things along there that aren't really that important. What is important is the boats in the foreground. So if we look at it like this, you can see. And let me just, if you decide you don't want to do the whole entire thing, if that looks like it's too much, just do part of it like this. And if anybody's new with us, you can go ahead in the chat and say hello. And I know Paulina is here. I'm not sure who else is in the chat. So that's halfway. And if you want to do the dock and the boat, then be super challenging. And the boat is just a really simple shape with some dry brush on it. So it doesn't have to be like super perfectly perfect. All right. So, maybe I'll try to keep this, at least half of it off to the side here. Let's see if that's going to be visible at all. So in the distance, there's a cityscape, and I'm just kind of making this up as I go. With maybe just off center, this will be the tallest building. have a new friend on Instagram who is, I don't even know all what she does, but she posted some really amazing a 360 video from somewhere out in Utah near Zion Park, which is, you know, one of my absolutely favorite places. I've only been there once. I went when Christopher was younger to visit the park during one of his spring breaks, and I really enjoyed it. So actually some of these skyscrapers over here, maybe I just do a few skips and jumps, and over there it doesn't really matter, just stuff along the harbor. And in fact, if you get that on there and you feel like the eraser, you can erase a little bit off so the pencil lines are not so dark if you want. Sometimes people leave the lines in to suggest, you know, building windows and things. The only thing is this is going to be way in the distance, so we don't really want to suggest too much back there. In fact, sometimes even on the top of these buildings, we can just erase a little bit so that they vanish into the clouds. And I might even pull this water line down a little more and then create a little bridge going across like that. So it's a city on the water with a bridge there. And Paulina, how are you doing with getting your palette set up and everything? Hey, how are you, DJ? Nice to see you here. Did you get to see the picture of what we're doing so you can take a screenshot? I'm just trying to see if Paulina's got everything set up on her palette, her new palette. So I said earlier you can do the whole watercolor with both boats and docks, or you can just do half of it if you want. And in that case, I wouldn't put the boat dead in the center. I would have it off a little bit. So maybe to one side slightly. And then have another boat here. And then a little thing here. You have something to show me? Yes, let's see it. Can you put it in Instagram? Do you have a new painting that you did, DJ? Go ahead and put it in Instagram. I want to see. And I've been really busy because I'm taking this class on how to use Instagram. And so I've been like inundated with all kinds of extra little things. And then also trying to, you know, create my storyboards for social media. So and a few other things. So it's been really hectic. I don't know where the time goes. Okay. Oh, you just showed the paints to DJ? Oh, I'd like to see. Yeah, show me, Paulina. Ooh, look at that. Can I show everyone, DJ? I have to. You're gonna let me, okay? So here's DJ's painting. DJ, you're getting good. Let me see if it's showing up here. Oh, I hate it when my stream is laggy like this. It's just a little bit, it takes a while for things to show up. There it is, finally. Okay, DJ, you have to post this. Did you post it on the Facebook page? She got some delicious color. Yummy. DJ, are you happy with it? I think it looks great. The only thing I would try to do is to make the left side shadow kind of go over a little bit to the right side, like that where the blue shadow is here. I would just like connect that to the other side just a little bit. A little bit longer shadow so that the two don't feel like they're just separate. Like there needs to be some kind of connection there. And maybe it's just a wisp of, yeah, a shadow going across just a little bit. That looks very nice. You haven't put it on Facebook yet. Okay. Do though, I love it. That would be great if you did. Wow. So did you do that while we were painting, or did you do it afterwards, just watching the video again? Oh, I love it. Okay. All right. So, Paulina, if you get, no, I love it. I mean, I can see your progress, DJ. It really looks nice. You were painting now during when we did the boats. The last time, I guess, or maybe, what did we do last time? Or maybe it was the time before. Okay, so let's continue on here with the more boats in front of us again. So this one has the cityscape in the background here. And let's go ahead and put, oh, let's see. And if you're new here and you want to join in, this is what we're doing today. We're going to paint this cityscape with the boats. And so this is our drawing coming along. So we want to put, I guess I'll do it again with the dock in here. I kind of like just a, well, we'll see. I want to change it up now, but for the purpose of the demo, I probably won't. I'll just go ahead and put in this dock. Kind of. Maybe there's some sailboats behind there. And we'll put a boat in here. Maybe a little sail on that. Kind of a cute little boat. So, and here, maybe I just have a couple more of these little mooring kind of things that have the boats tied up to them. Let's put this boat over here. I really should someday get some really good boat photos so that I'm just making this up from past paintings or whatever. And, you know, I could get some better photos and do maybe a little bit more accurate drawing. It's not that much fun to do a super accurate drawing, but at least it's not for me. I like to have it a little bit impressionistic. Oh, DJ's looking forward to see you paint in watercolor. This down here is going to be all reflections, and hopefully that'll look nice. I'm going to get this out of here. Just a little bit too much. There we go. And back here, we're going to have another one. Maybe another one. And maybe there's all kinds of sailboats back here along the water. I just imagined a bridge like Cincinnati, you know. Well, not exactly Cincinnati, but maybe Miami going across with the cityscape in the background. But the focus is supposed to be here on these boats. So, all right. And I'll put the painting here for a sec so you can refer to it if you need to. Spray bottle. Start setting up my palette. Tomorrow Joe has a doctor appointment, so I'm going to spend the day, most of the day, doing that. He's not sick, he just has a follow-up. So he will be the center of my attention tomorrow. And I think I have that sufficiently wet. Okay. Are Kat and Anne joining us today? That is a good question. I invited them both. I don't remember if Kat has something going on today or not. I don't remember. And I don't know about Anne. She, yeah, I don't know. I only just invited her, you know, a few minutes ago, so, well, it was 40 minutes ago or so, but I don't know what she's got going on. Sometimes she may just listen in the background and not join in, but if she's there, join in. Say hello. So we're almost ready to start painting. How are you guys doing with your drawing? Simple is best. And Paulina, I know you're just getting set up, so if you want, are you going to paint today, or are you going to just watch and then kind of do it later? Kat is very excited to paint, yeah. Let me send her a text and see where she is. We'll figure this out. Let me see, because yesterday she told me her schedule, but I don't remember what it was. See if I can find it. Oh, wait. Yeah, she usually sends me messages on Instagram now, since I'm becoming more fluent in Instagram, which is not my forte, right? Where is she? Here she is. Okay. No, I don't know where she put that. We were talking about, I guess we were talking about her schedule, and maybe that's Kat. Oh, there she is. Oh, you had a phone call. Okay. I couldn't remember your schedule. I was trying to remember it, but all right. So, are you ready to paint, Kat? Do you need like 5 minutes to do the drawing? I'll leave the drawing here, and you can take a screenshot of it. And then while you're all getting set up, I'm going to show you some images from one of my books to give you some inspiration for the painting. I'll put that there. Nice. Fun to try and get it lined up just right. Kat, DJ posted a, well, he didn't post it yet, but he will. His painting of the boats that we did the other day, and it's very nice. So I'm going to try to get him to post it on the Facebook page, Facebook group. And anybody that wants to join the Facebook group, just leave a message in the comments. Okay. Oh, you have to drive to work in an hour. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to start painting then. Let's go. Let's get the show on the road. Okay. So the question is do I want to do this with the same colors, or do I want to change it up? I could change it up. I could use, think about this. I think we'll try to just do it in maybe well, do you all like the colors the way it is? Or should I do it differently? I was thinking more of a grayed down palette. But I'm not sure if I want to change it or not. I guess since you have this image, we'll do it like this. That'll be the easiest. So the sky is just a little mixture of cerulean and yellow ochre. I'm going to clean out this. I'm taking a pretty big brush because I want it kind of loose in the background there. It's a 12. I mean, it's not a huge brush, but we'll take some cerulean blue. And with that, I'm going to mix in just a tiny bit of burnt sienna to gray it down a little bit. That's prettier. And then remember, you probably don't want to use your color straight out of the tube that much. And then I just mix up a little bit of yellow ochre with whatever's left over in my palette there to get kind of a little bit of a grayish. A warm gray. And if I want, I can add a little bit of alizarin crimson to that. Or I could have made a little purplish gray, like in the painting actually has a little bit of purple gray. So why don't we use ultramarine blue and a little bit of, there we go. That's a prettier color, I think. A little ultramarine and alizarin crimson. We won't need much of that. Okay, so let's go ahead and I think I'll give the paper just a little spritz in the background just to keep it nice and loose. I'm going to leave a few whites back there maybe. And if I wasn't painting for a group, I'd probably try to maybe lift my palette up just a little bit to get that nice runny kind of drippy look back there when the water runs down. I think it looks really nice on the page. A little bit more color. It's gonna dry lighter, but we don't want much going on in the background because this is supposed to be about the boats. So and as I get nearer to the foreground here, I'm going to leave a few white spots. So I'm painting around. Down here I'm going to skip and just use the tip of my brush to kind of skip around as I get closer. And I'll keep a little bit of that color under the bridge, that purplish color, and saving as many whites as I can that I think will look good in the background. And then I'm going to go into this burnt sienna. That wasn't burnt sienna right there. That was pyrroline maroon, I think. But this, or no, that was like a burnt orange or something. But this is burnt sienna right here next to my cad red. And I want to pick up a little bit of that and let it kind of run in with those other colors here and there a little bit. It's going to kind of wisp up into the background. Just a little hint of that. And not too dark. Okay. And I think that the little bit of purple that I have going on there, I'll do a second wash and come back in after that's dry to darken that up a little bit more. These little spots that I'm doing right now are supposed to be part of the bridge in the distance. Underneath there's supports that go across there, and so this will look nice. All right, now let's go ahead and do the first wash of the water. And so again, on the water, we just want a nice little, maybe cerulean blue, maybe some cobalt. Mixed in, and I'll get kind of a big puddle of that because I've got to go all the way down the page. And into it I'm going to mix a tiny bit of alizarin crimson, just a tad, to tone it slightly darker and a little bit more cool, because the sky color is that way. And so there we go. I'm going to need a little more, so mix up a little bit more. Always mix up a little more than you need. There we go. Well, I'm not even sure that that's enough, but that'll give me a decent start. And as I come down the page, I may make it a little bit darker here and there, but let's try that. A little more blue. All right. That should be plenty. And actually, I'd love to use a bigger brush right now, but I think I'll stick with this one. I'm just going to have to keep it really wet and maybe cut around those boats a little bit and leave some white spaces on top. As you come down the page, you want to have enough water on your brush to make a nice bead so that it doesn't dry. And you can see here where it's pooling up. You want that to happen so that you don't end up with a nasty edge, a dry edge, when you want your... And here and there, again, I always try to leave a few whites in the... So I'm skipping a little bit here and there, just to leave a few little waves and texture in the water. And then keep going and just cut around any, like there's a couple little boats here, so I'm cutting around those and watching these edges so they don't dry. Coming down the page. Now here, this boat, cut around that sail a little bit. There we go. And put some water under the dock. I can actually paint over that entire dock because it's going to be darker, so I may just, I'll just add a few little brown tones in there while I'm at it. And as I come towards the foreground here, I think I'm going to make it a little bit darker. And get under the dock and around this boat. You can see I have to use a lot of brush strokes because I'm really using a brush that's probably too small for this effort. A nice big quill brush would have been a better choice, but you can do it if you do it quickly like this so that the edges don't dry. You just have to mix up a lot of paint ahead of time. Otherwise, you will get a lot of hard edges. Right away while this is wet, I'll just fix up any little edges that I see. And now I'm going to add a little more alizarin crimson to this mix. And I'm just going to, here and there, put in a little bit of that color. So a little bit more purple in there. Maybe a little under the dock there. All right, so that's my first wash, and I'm going to dry it with the hair dryer. So I'll turn off my mic and you all can guess what I'm saying. It doesn't fall down. DJ, I just read your post. Something terrible has happened. Okay, so you remember the sea I made. You told me to put a bird in the sky. Now I tried to put a bird in it. It looks like a bat. I think bats are okay. No? It can be a seagull. Or, I don't know, something. Does it look bad? What you can do is take your brush and get it wet and blot, just touch the bird with a little bit of water and then take a tissue and blot it out like that. You can't stop laughing? Oh my God, I have to tell you a funny story. Joe was barbecuing, I think it was yesterday. Or maybe it was the night before. I think it was the night before. And yeah, and he had the back door open and a bat flew into the house. And I heard him like, you know, raising his voice to Christopher, and I thought, what on earth is going on out there? And he's like, oh, we got a bird in the house. And it turned out it was a bat, but he thought it was a bird because it flew in. So I opened the front door to try to get it out, and it was flying way up in the stairway. And anyway, he caught it with a broom. He like swatted it down with the broom, and then he captured it into a bag and he took it outside. But I absolutely do not like bats at all. It's like, ugh, gross. I was so freaked out. Ugh. And it was, you know, it was squealing at him, you know. It's like, oh my God, no, not a bat in the house. That is so disgusting. I don't know. I don't think it was rabbit. I don't know. But it just was, and it was weird because it wasn't even nighttime. It was like, it was barely even dusk. So I don't know what he was doing, but it was not good. Okay, kids. So hopefully, DJ, you can get your bird out of there. And it looks like bats flying, too big. So just touch it with a little water with your brush and then blot it with a tissue. And then hopefully it'll just kind of fade away. You have to use just the very tip of your brush to make those little bird things. Little birds flying. Yeah, oh my God, no way is right. Oh. So anyway, okay. Now let's get on with this and try to do the rest of the painting. So I'm going to put in a little bit more of this purplish wash into the background back here in the sky. I didn't quite get it as dark as I wanted on the first run. So I'm just gonna make it as faint as I can, but just wash over it with a little purple glaze, we'll call it that. Did you all see the Prince thing? We watched it on replay, I don't know, on Netflix or something. There was a movie about Prince. Oh, not a movie, but what am I talking about? Where the musicians did a kind of a memorial thing. Anyway, we watched it. I know it was out a while back, but we just watched it the other night. It was kind of good. So that I was thinking of purple rain here in the background. And I want the top of these buildings to kind of fade away here and there, so I can just blot them a little bit with the tissue on the top edge, just on the top edge. There we go. And maybe as I come down towards the bottom of the skyline here, I can mix up some burnt sienna with a little ultramarine. And you know, I think I want a little bit of alizarin in there. I just want here and there a little bit of, while that's wet back there, I can add some details that'll look like whatever is happening back there by the bay. I don't know what. Just a little bit more something or other. Oop, don't get it too dark. You don't want that to be your emphasis. Okay. And then maybe a little dry brush on the burnt sienna. Just for some details. Now, when I did the original painting, it looks like I wasn't really paying attention. It looks like I used a lot of Viridian maybe, or a little bit of that teal turquoise color in, especially in the boats and the sail. It almost looks like Viridian. I think it's Viridian or cobalt turquoise. So I'm gonna have to decide. I think I'm gonna stick with my, I used a lot of, I didn't really use that green in the background anywhere, so I can't just really, well, I could glaze it over. I guess I'm gonna have to. If I want it to be, yeah, I'll just use this no, I want Viridian because I'm pretty sure that's what I used. Or I could use a little bit of cobalt mixed in with this other stuff just to make a kind of a warm gray. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. Let me grab a tube of Viridian. I'm tempted not to. Let me think about this. Well, we can use this. I'm trying to think of the colors that you that you all might have at home. The Greatest Showman. You know, I don't remember, DJ, what it's called. There were a bunch of musicians on there. They were all singing tributes. It was really nice. Sheena E, like she was on there, right? Is it Sheena E and I don't know who all. Okay. All right, so now I'm trying to decide if I should change up the colors because of what you have in your palettes. I don't know that you all have this phthalo blue, which you could mix with lemon yellow to get kind of a viridianish color here, like this. So, but you, and see, this is really nice and green. Let me get a scrap piece of paper. See, that gives you that nice viridian color, but that's phthalo blue and lemon yellow. Now, if you don't have that, if you just have ultramarine and you mix it with lemon yellow, it's not going to give you the kind of green that you want for this glaze. Plus, I think the phthalo blue is pretty transparent, whereas I don't know, when you mix it with the lemon yellow, it looks pretty transparent, but if you mix it with the blue that I have here, my ultramarine blue, it's very, it's going to get very green, this green color, and I don't really want that. So, and I don't know if you all have this cool, well, it's a warm, but it's a cool color, the turquoise. So, but you do have cerulean. I'm sure you have cerulean blue. So why don't we take the cerulean blue, mix a tiny bit of lemon yellow. That's not going to give me the darks that I want. So we may just have to go with ultramarine and mix, we'll just do purples and mix it with alizarin crimson, and we'll use this as our dark. And then where we want it even darker, we'll add burnt sienna, okay? And that, I think that'll go nicely with our color scheme without going back into the green, the phthalo blue and the viridian and all of that, okay? And then as a highlight, maybe we'll use cerulean to indicate those boats, like where we need to. So this is what I'm looking at. We'll use cerulean blue here to melt into the darker ultramarine and alizarin crimson colors that we're going to use down in here. And we can use alizarin crimson on these boats. We can also add a little cad red if we want. It gets complicated, doesn't it, with the colors? But look at how pretty that'll be, I hope. So, all right. So let's go ahead and I moved some things around and I'm looking for my brush. The needle, I don't know where it went. is. I'm gonna have to get another needle brush. Okay, so let's go ahead and put some of my ultramarine here. And I'm going to put the bridge in with that in the background. There we go. It's just a hint of it. And then I'll put in a little bit more. A few more shapes along the edge, and then I'm going to model it up to make it look like there's a little bit more happening back there. A few darks, just a few pops of darks. And I'm using the ultramarine blue because I'm trying to stick to a color scheme that with colors that you have and you can do, so that, and just under the bridge I'll let that go under there. So you have a little skip of lights across the bridge. And here. I think that looks pretty good. I love Prince. I think it's sad that he died. Such an amazing talent that guy was. Okay, so a little bit more dry brush under the bridge, just to really kind of nail down that. Where the water meets the boats there. And while I have some of this purple leftover light value, I might put in a few masks back there. I guess they should be generally kind of just a pale gray, blue-gray. All right, purple rain is for sure. So DJ, what else did you paint besides the one boat picture? Now I'm gonna whip up a little bit of this dry brush for these buildings in the background. I just want a tiny bit more. Just a little bit. And I really want it dry, so I'm gonna just blot it off on a tissue here before I start doing this. I'm just gonna put a little bit of texture back there on those buildings. I got a nice text from a friend of mine who saw a post that I used to work with years ago. She was interested in the watercolor. Well, I called it a watercolor workshop, but it's really, well, I guess it's kind of like a watercolor workshop online. And I can't wait to see if she shows up. I'll have to give her a call. All right, now let's go ahead and get these boats in, and then I'll figure out what I want to do with these ones in the background here. That I'll probably just use a little bit of cobalt. Put like a light line on those. Maybe that one there too. There we go. So I wonder of the three of you guys, who is the most savvy with social media? I had to take a class because I know nothing. Who's the Instagram expert of the bunch? All right, let's go ahead and do this wash now in the foreground here, which can be a little bit tricky. So we're gonna have to mix up a bunch of dark for that. And we're gonna use, like I said, these colors here, the ultramarine and burnt sienna. And I'll probably put in a little bit of cerulean blue or the cobalt teal. No, cobalt teal or turquoise light. So let's get this nice bunch of blue. And I think I will switch to larger brush again. If I was painting on a half-size sheet of watercolor paper, I would be using an absolutely huge brush like this. So I can get those big washes in there. But painting this way is let's see, I need a bigger brush here. So I'll use this mop. It's not really a mop. A true mop to me is one that has a bigger, you know, like this. And this is Squirrel. Boy, I love those brushes. Those are Alvaro's brushes. And they're very good. Okay. So let me grab. But I do like this for its nice point, so that's what I'm going to use. So I have mixed up here some ultramarine, and this is actually, I have to be perfectly transparent here. The ultramarine that I'm using right now is Ultramarine Light by Holbein, and the only reason, no wait, M. Graham, sorry, M. Graham, and the only reason that I'm using that is because it was handy. Otherwise I'd just use regular ultramarine. And to that I think I'll add a little bit of alizarin crimson. And I'm just going to start with these boats, just with a hint here. This is where it takes a little bit of finesse to be a little bit delicate. I'm doing kind of a warm color on one side and more blue on the other. And as I get down towards the bottom, then we can start adding a little bit of this shadow color. It's going into the water here. And I just want to play with the shadows and connect them here and there. Let me get this thing off my page so I can see what I'm doing. And maybe I'll let them come across. I want to connect this here. I'm going to let this kind of blend out on that side. And over here we'll do the other boat. I'll look at this edge and see how it looks. I want that to kind of go softly into that boat. And here I might put just a little bit more. I'm trying to use mostly pigment and not a lot of paint there. I mean, not a lot of water, just a little. Let that go. So same thing with this boat. I might just use a light color to start, and then a little burnt sienna to give it a little variety. I'm going to drag this down to make a little reflection there coming off that sail. And so we get onto the bottom of this boat. I need a little more color. I'll let this see my painting to see what I have going on here. There we go. Into that I might drop a little bit of this teal. And put a little bit of it there. And let it come down into this reflection of this sail. Looks pretty good. I need a little shadow under the... Well, I should probably build the dock first, but it doesn't really matter in this case. I'm just gonna create a little bit of shadow there. And the dock is going to be mostly just dry brush with burnt sienna, maybe some burnt umber. And you can see I'm just putting it in quickly. And then a couple of these posts. And if you want to darken up one side of these posts or another, just add ultramarine to your burnt sienna or burnt umber, and you'll get a little bit darker value. And then while that's still damp, you can fuss with it a little bit. Just try to keep a few highlights for to suggest the wood part of the dock. There we go. And then these guys here are little, I guess they're little buoys or something in the water. And now do some details. some mass. And I think I'd like a nice cerulean blue is the highlight color that I'm using. Kind of, I'm mixing it a tiny bit with that turquoise color, but if you don't have it, mix it with a tiny bit of lemon yellow and you'll get a bluish green that'll look nice. Okay, now I want a little more color in that sail, so maybe I'll pull the cerulean, a tiny bit of that. I can make an elephant in 2 strokes. Oh my God, you're funny, DJ. You are hysterical. Put some burnt sienna on these boats to suggest, you know, part of the edge and, I don't know, things that are to give it a little more some more detail. Okay, so now I'm just trying to see what else that I might need here. Put a little label on that boat and maybe something there on that one. And my birds. Should we put in birds or bats? Kat, I'm sure you had to go by now and I probably missed your... Oh, maybe you're still there. I think you had to go off. Here's our birds. Ooh, I used kind of a blue. It should really be more of a, you know, a dark something or other, purple or a combination of brown. You don't want bluebirds back there. Maybe I'll blot and add a little. They are in the background, so, but they're silhouetted against the sunlight, so they're dark. There. I think I want a couple little more details here. Not too much. Oh, I gotta do the boats in the back. And then finally, I'll probably put a few more shapes in the water here. So these boats in the background, I think they'd look good with just a little bit of blue. Maybe even the highlight color blue, just a little bit. That one's too dark. We can't have them looking like that. And then I think I would take, again, this purplish, waterish color, and that's a little bit dark, pretty light, and make a shadow under these boats here. Connect those two together, and then just a few little waves in this boat. And maybe put a shadow up there along the shoreline. And then as I come down around back into here, I still want a little bit darker value on that. So I'm gonna mix up, oh, I used cobalt. I should have used this blue, but that's okay. I just want a few darker suggestion of I think that's good. I think I would have liked that better left alone, but I'll just make a dry brush across there. I feel like this foreground needs a little bit more styling with the water, so I'm just going to put it in quickly. I just feel like it's a little bit too light, so I'm just going over it with a, this is kind of dangerous to do, but I feel like it needs it. So I'm just adding a, you know, as if it was part of the wave action, just like that. And hopefully it'll just melt into there and be okay. You gotta be brave for that. All right, a few little splatters for some accents. And those should be, in this case, I want them to be kind of the warm brown color. So I'll just mix up a neutral gray and put a little bit here and there back over the city. And now I saved a lot of white above these boats, but if you didn't, you could use your white to highlight it, and you can always add little details in dry brush. And I feel like it could use a little pop of red, maybe. Just a little bit somewhere for emphasis. So, and with this color palette, for some reason I feel like this warmer red might look nice. So I'll just put a little bit on that boat, and then maybe a tad back there. Maybe on the buoys. Paulina, has this put you to sleep yet? You're gonna log off in 10, okay. DJ, you can teach us to make bats. That's perfect. Oh my God, that's hysterical. You did a sketch of a girl and a boy? You posted the girl in Insta? Oh, okay, let's see. I don't see it. Let me see if there's, oh, maybe I have to, I just see the boat one. Wait. Oh, maybe it's above? No? Hmm. I don't see it on there yet. I do see an area where I could use a little white highlight, so I'm gonna try to, I'll just grab a little fresh paint. It's so hard to use a dried up tube of all right, here we go. I think I want a little white highlight on this mast here. I made it kind of gray, but I think the white might look a little better. And put a little white on the top of those. Whatever those things are called, moorings, pilings, I'm not sure. And then if you missed any white, you can add a little back in the background there. I think I want a little more blue on that boat. It's, I don't know what happened to it, but I want it to be more blue. There we go. And this one too will make a little bigger. Maybe that's where my little bit of red accent can go back there. And then here, I got there, maybe just a little there. Maybe a little down there. Okay, so I'm gonna sign away here. And I think I'll use red. I feel like I'm in a bold mood today. I'm going to sign it right over here. What do you think? Was that pretty easy? Maybe a little splatter here. My reflection here could be a little more interesting. But I think it's okay. Let's take the tape off. You did practice to make the boats yesterday or the day before, you think, and then you made the boats painting today. Okay, so how are you feeling about those, DJ? Are you making any improvement, or are my lessons helping you, or do you think they're And Kat, if you're still there, I did get that picture of the silos that you sent me, and I absolutely love it, and I have a lot of ideas for that. So I'll just post this here for a second while it dries, and you can take a look at it. There you go. Maybe I'll do a couple other things, as we always do at the end when we think we're finished, but we're not. I have my lights on, but it doesn't seem like it's very bright in here today. Hopefully that's okay. I need to look at my screen in the other. Could lift that up a bit. I don't know if that's better or worse. There we go. Oh, I see one other thing I should put in here, and that's a little line. Maybe off the back of this. Oh, I can do the same thing here. I'm going to put a highlight on this buoy. Maybe that one too. I'm going to get a mat board. It always helps me to look at this from far away, and it's right in front of me on top of this painting table. So, you know, when you hold it up and you have a little more, and you can see it and evaluate it a little better, I think it could use maybe a little bit more shadow under the distance back here. In the water. And I don't even mind where I went over it in the middle here with another wash. So there we go. I'm putting in these little waves and then kind of softening them out a little. There we go. All right, let me check here. What's going on? You got brave enough to try the colors at least? Which colors? The same colors that I'm using instead of doing like black and white studies, like thumbnail studies, or... This is cool. I'm going to leave it alone and let it dry and then see how it looks. But it looks so dark right now on my computer screen that it's hard to tell what it's doing. But oh, it's 4:38 already. I think it's time for a spritzer. Oh, are you heading off to work, Kat? Oh, Paulina, it wasn't easy for you? This one? I thought you were going to wait and paint it later. Oh, it's in your Instagram profile. Okay, DJ, I gotcha. Let me see. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. The boats with the 3 different colors? I love it. I haven't even been going to your profile on Instagram. So, oh my gosh, I love that style. It's really beautiful. Look at that. I love those bold shapes and the chunky shapes and the colors. It really works well. DJ, you've got a nice style. Very nice. Look at your little farm. That's cool. That looks like where I grew up in Wisconsin. Arrow art, okay. Bowl of soup. Oh, look at the giraffe. Did you do this? Little Tweety bird with the mask? That's cute. She's cute. I like that. Fan art. Ooh, that's interesting. Look like a graphic designer. Fuck Corona. Oops, we won't say that. I can't say that in my stream because whatever. That's cool. Wow, these are very nice. I'm proud of you, DJ, for trying watercolor because, you know, a lot of the younger people like, that's pretty. All who are having Ramadan. Are you fasting right now, DJ? I better look at the... Are you signing off, Paulina? If you are, I'm going to hang around for a minute because I'm going to have to check your Instagram more often, DJ. I wanted to show you this book. It's called Mastering Light and Shade, and it's by Kim Seng. And he has some boat paintings in here that are, I just noticed. So I wanted to, I think I might have showed you this book once before. Now, where'd those boats go? Here we go. Look at the beautiful washes. Subtle. It just lets everything run together. And here's the large painting, the finished painting. So obviously a lot more detail in this design with a lot of boats. Look where he left the white highlights. All over, really. And then he did like a mottled shady thing with his, I'll turn this down a little. Oh, you're Hindu, so you're not fasting. Okay. Just clobber me over the head. Just do it. Anyway, I love these colors here where he's mixed the cobalt or cerulean with the lemon yellow, and he's got this really pretty wash here. And then just the lightest of lights on top of those boats. And look where he put the dark, his darkest darks. Right here, near the center of interest. Isn't that nice? Let's see if he has any more. See, he used Prussian blue in this. And that's a really nice dark color to have, you know, as either Prussian blue or Indanthrene blue or phthalo blue. See his palette? He has Prussian blue, ultramarine, cobalt, cerulean, Van Dyke brown. That's a really pretty nice dark brown. It's almost, you know, black, but not black because it has some warmth in it. Burnt sienna, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, rose madder red, and Indian yellow. So he doesn't have a lemon yellow on this palette, but he has Indian yellow. So I guess he can dilute that enough to get the color that he wants. Let me see if there's any more boats in here. Well, he has a Seascape demo. He uses a lot of little marks in his style. All these little doodads. He just does that to build up value and definition. If you looked at the painting from far away, a lot of these things that are the same value would just blend together, but when you go up close to the painting, you would notice all these little things, which would make it interesting if it was hanging in a gallery. This one I thought was really interesting. It came out really nice. This building. And here he used really nice, imagining all these colors in the windows like stained glass. You can see how he put down the lemon yellow or the Indian yellow first, and then in the next wash, when after that dried, he put on all these dry brush marks and he added in all these little flicks of color. Kind of cool. And even under the, notice under the roof, the shadow underneath that, it's probably a terracotta roof. Look at the different colors he put in there. Purple, you know, some cad red or cad orange. That looks almost green, like he mixed in a little bit of that Indian yellow. And he's got it sparkling all through the painting, which is really nice. See, I like his cityscape just like this, before he adds more stuff to it. I think that's cool. It's very simple. And then if he just added a few branches for the trees, he'd be just about done. But see, I think he takes it a little bit too far for me, for my own taste. And that, you know, he makes it look like an illustration in the end, which is not really my style, but and here it is. Lots of little dots and dashes in that. Almost like Monet. I mean, really. I do like this, the finished painting though, this one. This is nice. The other one over on the previous page looked more like an illustration, but this has a lot more life to it. If you can see it all. And I love his branches hanging down that we did the other day, and these. And notice his rooftops have very little detail. It's just a very light color with a few, this one has a shadow, a few dots. And they all have shadow underneath, especially here where this big shadow is, dark shadow. And in here it's just nondescript. Very nice. All right, kids, what time do we have? Let me see here. Killer blue. Prussian blue is killer blue? I'm gonna get out my Prussian blue because I do get tired of ultramarine sometimes. And I really like the Indie blue, Indanthrene blue. That's one of my favorites. He painted the palette, so cute, yeah. All of his paintings have this same kind of dot and dash style. So when you're painting all those dashes, just make sure that you're painting them in the right color value so that it doesn't get too mottled up with different, you know where your darks are. You love that building. Can you live there? Yeah. I know. Let's see what else he has. Oh, here I found in the book, I made some notes a while back on reds from Daniel Smith that are transparent, and then the ones that are semi-transparent. So if you guys want to take a screenshot of that, you can. I need to hold it more that way. If you can read my handwriting. Transparent reds are quin red, Mayan red, alizarin crimson, quinacridone rose, quinacridone magenta, transparent pyrrole orange, That's a really pretty color, and so is permanent orange. And then semi-transparents are when you get into the cadmiums. So cad orange, pyrrole orange, cad red scarlet, organic vermilion. And these are generally the warmer ones too. Mayan orange, pyrrole scarlet, pyrrole orange, pyrrole red, and cad red medium. They have so many colors from Daniel Smith. You'll go crazy. Oh, what's the name of this book? It's Mastering Light and Shade in Watercolor by Ung Kim Seng. So he does a very detailed drawing. Look at DJ. In his, starting his, you know, his buildings or whatever. He even draws in little lines for the trees. And he does his first wash, and then his second wash, he builds up his darks even more. Let me see if he has a demo where he shows that. Ooh, I like that one. Let's see. See, some of these are a little bit like old-fashioned-y kind of looking. That, like this, to me is a little bit, I don't know, not that exciting. But right on the other page, he's got this one, which I love, because I love the colors in it. I was just going to see if he shows, yeah, like here's a demo. Everything to paint a complex scene. See, I would never draw in all those details. That's not my style, but if you're into that, you do a very detailed drawing and then start your washes. To me, that's a little bit too much information. See, and he just does it very carefully all the way through. And that takes a lot of time and effort. And if you like to paint that way, you should. But it's not for me. I think this is his finished painting. Yeah. I'll put it down so you can see it. All right, well, what else before I go? Paulina, what's your plan now? Are you gonna set up your palette? Here's another one of his palettes. This one he has lemon yellow, cad yellow, Indian red. I've never used Indian red. Alizarin crimson permanent, and then raw sienna, burnt sienna, Van Dyke brown, leaf green, permanent sap green, emerald green, manganese blue, pretty, ultramarine blue, cerulean blue, and cobalt. And with that palette, he's making this painting. So you can see his use of lemon in there, lemon yellow. There's the finished painting. It's a beautiful painting. See if I can get my camera up a little bit higher so you can, there you go. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, I'll bet you're sleepy. It's that time of night. Okay, kids, well, I'm gonna say good night. Good night, DJ. Now, DJ, try to paint this. Maybe do some buildings. We'll get off boats for a while, and why don't next time we do Thursday, we'll do some Italian scenes with some structures in them. Or maybe just practice our cypress trees and parasol pines. We'll see. We'll see, we'll see. He did a nice wash. Yeah, beautiful. All right, keep posting your paintings, you guys, and your drawings. Good night, Paulina. Good night. And if you have any questions, let me know, either on Insta or on the Facebook page, if you want. I'm not kidding. You can give it a shot. Just simplify it. Make it smaller. You know, just do that much of it. Or just do that much. Look at all those beautiful colors. If you can do all the other stuff that you do, DJ, I know you can do this. I know you can. There's that same one again. See the first wash? That's what's hard about watercolor, is you put down the first wash, and then when you get to the second wash, it's like, oh no, now what do I do? But it's all a matter of following your plan, your thumbnail sketch, and your reference, where the darks are. It's not easy. I'm not too sleepy yet, but I am yawning. Sorry. It's getting to be time. It's getting to be time. Yeah, I like this. This is pretty. We'll do something like this next time. And there's our boats. I have to laugh every time you call me master. I think that's hysterical. What do the little chickadees mean? They're so cute. All right, well, get a good night's sleep, you guys. I'm gonna have some dinner, watch the news, make a spritzer, and probably pass out. So we'll see you on Thursday, okay? Bye, everybody.